Me, 24. Pastry guy at a downtown restaurant that runs on adrenaline and bad decisions. My corner is the only sane place in the building. Cold marble, bowls of tempered chocolate, a piping bag in my hand like a security blanket. Behind me, the hot line is a zoo. Guys yelling tickets, pans clanging, somebody screaming about a missing veal just like it owes him money. I don't engage. I keep my head down. That's the whole strategy. Be too good to fire, too quiet to notice. I pipe a row of rosettes onto a lemon tart. Each one identical. That's the only thing in my life I fully control. The kitchen survives on the principle that I don't exist. I'm fine with that. Then the owner claps his hands at the pass. Big announcement voice. Everybody, new sous chef starting today. I don't even look up. New management is not my problem. I'm dusting cocoa over the tart when I hear the boots. Heavy, confident, coming down the line slow. I glance up out of pure reflex, and my whole body just stops. It's Roxy. Roxy from middle school. Roxy from high school. The girl who knocked my textbooks into a mud puddle and made the whole bus laugh. The one with the nicknames. The ones about my weight that I still hear sometimes when I can't sleep. She looks older now, sharper, tattoos up one forearm, knife roll over her shoulder. But it's her. Same eyes that used to find me across a cafeteria. My stomach drops into my shoes. I have one thought. She's going to recognize me, and then she's going to start. I drop my eyes back to the tart like it's a hostage negotiation. Maybe she won't place me. I've changed. I've lost weight. I have a beard now, technically. Please don't see me. Please walk past. She does not walk past. The boots stop right at my station. I can smell cold smoke and metal. I keep piping. My hand isn't steady. The rosette comes out crooked. I want to die. She leans over my prep, looks at my laminated dough resting in the half pan, actually looks at it. The layers, the fold count. I brace for it. I brace for, well, if it isn't. And the old name and the whole kitchen turning to watch. I have rehearsed surviving this exact moment for a decade. She studies the dough a beat longer. Then she gives me one slow look. Up to my face. Back to my hands. Unreadable. Flat. Pro. And she just nods. One nod. No name, no smirk, no recognition at all. Then she straightens up and keeps walking the line like I'm a fridge. I stand there holding a piping bag, heart going like a drum solo. That's worse. That's so much worse. If she'd insulted me, I'd know the rules. The cold nod means she's planning something. I know how she works. The bus thing was always a setup before the punchline. She's saving it. Bigger crowd, better timing. I spend the rest of the shift waiting for the boot to drop. Every time she passes my corner, my shoulders climb. Service ends, no insult comes, and somehow the silence sits heavier than any name she ever called me. Friday afternoon, prep. The dead hours before service when the kitchen pretends to be calm. I'm portioning tart shells, blind baked, cooling on racks, trying to act normal 3 days into knowing Roxy exists again. She hasn't said one personal word to me. Still pro, still cold. I've decided that's the long con. I'm just waiting it out. Then Marcus shows up. Our head chef. Imagine a man who learned leadership from a thrown skillet. He paces the line before every service like a shark that smells weakness. And weakness today is wearing my apron. He stops at my station, picks up a lemon tart, holds it to the light. What is this? It's a lemon tart, chef. I don't say that. This is supposed to be plated tonight? Yes, chef. He sniffs it. Actually sniffs it like a wine guy. Tastes like a candle. You trying to embarrass me? He's louder than he needs to be. That's the point. He wants an audience. New sous chef standing right there. This is the move. Humiliate the soft kid, look like a king. And I think, here it comes. Roxy gets her front row seat after all. She'll laugh. She'll add the old name. Marcus and her, tag team. I grip the edge of the marble and just breathe. Roxy walks over, picks up a clean tasting spoon off the rack. Calm. Takes a piece of the tart. Chews. Eyes on Marcus the whole time. Swallows. The acidity's clean, she says. Bright. That's a good curd. Marcus blinks. Excuse me? You said it tastes like a candle. She sets the spoon down. It doesn't. It tastes like lemon because he zested it instead of dumping extract in. The balance is dialed in. That's a hard set to nail at this volume. The line has gone quiet behind me. Even the dish guy stopped. Marcus puffs up. I've been doing this 20 years. And smoking through most of them, Roxy says. Your palate's shot, chef. Cheap cigarettes flatten everything. You can't taste the acid because you can't taste much of anything. She says it flat, not even mean, just a diagnosis. I have never seen a man deflate that fast. Marcus opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. He sets the tart down very carefully, like it might bite him. Whatever, he mutters. Just keep up. Then he turns and walks into the office, closes the door. The whole line exhales at once. Tyler, one of the cooks, goes damn under his breath and gets back to work. Roxy tosses the spoon in the sink. Clatter. And then she looks at me. Just me. A beat too long for a stranger. Prep another dozen of those, she says. They're going on the menu tonight. That's it. She walks off down the line. I stand there holding a tart shell like an idiot, because that wasn't her not knowing me. You don't defend a fridge like that. You don't memorize a quiet guy's curd technique to win an argument. She knew. The fold count on the dough, the zest, all of it. She's known since the first nod. And instead of the punchline I spent 10 years bracing for, she just put my name in the win column and walked away. I pull a new mixing bowl down. My hands are steady this time. That's new. I start cracking eggs, and I cannot for the life of me figure her out. The bully I remember doesn't take a hit for anybody. So either she changed, or I never actually knew her at all. Saturday night. Peak rush. The kind of service that makes you question your life choices. The kitchen is a sauna with a printer problem. Tickets keep spitting out faster than anyone can call them. The whole room smells like seared protein and burnt sugar and stress. I'm in my corner working a tray of spun sugar nests, delicate stuff. One wrong move and it shatters into dust. So I'm dialed in. Headphones off, world-narrowed focus. Which is why I don't see Tyler coming. Tyler is the line cook who said damn 3 days ago. Tyler is also, I have learned, a hazard with legs. He doesn't call his movements. Real cooks call. Behind, hot, corner. It's how nobody dies. Tyler just swings. He's slammed on his station, 3 tickets deep, panicking. He grabs a sheet pan straight out of the oven, bare-handed it for half a second too long, so he's mad about that too. And he pivots into my space without a word. The edge of that pan catches my forearm. It kisses skin for maybe 1 full second. That's all it takes. A line of heat blooms across my arm, sharp and immediate. The smell hits a beat later. That's the part I hate. I make a sound, small, through my teeth. Tyler doesn't even notice. He's already gone, back to his pans. And here's the thing about me. I don't complain. I never complain. You complain, you become a target. So I just set the pan down and keep plating. I lower a sugar nest onto a plate. My hands are shaking now, which is bad for sugar nests. The burn is loud in my head, and I am being very quiet about it. Plate 2, plate 3, keep moving. The mark on my arm is going an angry red I'd rather not look at. Then the temperature in the room changes, not the heat. The other thing. I look up at the expo window. Roxy is standing there with a ticket in her hand, not reading it. She's looking at my arm. She's seen the burn from across the line. And the whole feral energy she usually keeps holstered just unlocks. She doesn't yell. That's the scary part. She sets the ticket down. Calm. Deliberate. Then she comes around the pass and walks straight at Tyler. She grabs him by the apron strings at the small of his back. One pull. He stumbles off his own station. You don't call your moves. You don't work my line, she says. Low, even, worse than shouting. Go run the guard manger, now. Tyler opens his mouth. She's already looking past him, at me. Leo, burn kit. Cold water first. Go. It's not a suggestion. I peel off to the prep sink, run my arm under the cold tap. The relief is stupid. I almost laugh, and from there, I get the best seat in the house. Because Roxy slides into my station, my plates, my spun sugar, my half-finished tray. And she just does it. Picks up the tweezers, settles a sugar nest like she's defused a bomb, dusts the gold, wipes the rim with one clean pass of her thumb. It's flawless. It's my plating, done by someone who studied my plating. The whole time her jaw is set and her eyes keep flicking to Tyler. He's banished to the cold station, slicing garnish, ears red. She finishes my tray, slides it to the pass, calls the table. Doesn't miss a beat on her own tickets either. I stand there with my arm under cold water like a kid sent to the nurse, watching the girl who used to wreck me run my section better than I'd hoped. All that aggression, the thing I spent years dreading, it's still there, every bit of it. It's just pointed somewhere else now. It's pointed at the guy who hurt me, and I don't know what to do with the fact that being protected by Roxy feels nothing like I ever expected it to. She catches me staring across the kitchen, tips her chin at my arm. Wrap it. You're back on in 10. Then, quieter, almost to herself. And somebody's losing hours over this. I shut the tap off. My arm throbs. My head is somewhere else entirely. Because Tyler has no idea what he just started, and honestly, neither do I. Service is over. The kitchen is in that wrecked end-of-night quiet. Mops slapping tile. Somebody breaking down the line. The printer finally shut up. My arm is wrapped in proper gauze now, taped neat. I did it myself in the bathroom because I wasn't about to bother anyone. I'm out in the alley behind the building, brick walls, damp from a rain that came and went. One dumpster, one busted milk crate, one flickering bulb over the door. This is where I go. To remember I'm a person. I light a cigarette. I don't even smoke much. It's more of a ritual, something to do with the shaking hand. I lean against the cold brick and let my shoulders come down. The metal door bangs open. I flinch on instinct, which is embarrassing. It's Roxy. She's still got flour on one sleeve. Knife roll left inside. She doesn't say anything, just walks over and stands beside me. Close enough that I can smell the kitchen on her. Then she reaches over and plucks the cigarette right out of my fingers. No ask, takes a drag, exhales up at the bulb. You should switch brands, she says. These are garbage. They're yours now, apparently. That gets the corner of her mouth. She studies the alley like it owes her something. Then, flat, not looking at me. I was a nightmare to you, back then. I don't say anything. The cigarette glows between her fingers. The bus, the names, all of it. She rolls her jaw. I knew it was you day one. I figured. The nod was me being a coward about it. It's not a smooth apology. It's jagged, like she practiced it and hated every word. I'm not going to stand here and tell you it wasn't a big deal, she says. It was. I was the deal. A year ago, I'd have just nodded and let her off the hook. Old reflex, make the bigger person comfortable so they leave you alone, but the gauze on my arm is fresh and my spine is doing something new. It wrecked me, I say. She goes still. Years, I tell her. I didn't talk in groups. I picked this job partly because I get a corner and a wall. You did that. So, yeah, it was a big deal. I expect a flinch, an excuse. We were kids. She just takes it. Yeah, she says. I figured that too. No defense, no softening. She lets it sit on her like weight she earned, and somehow that lands cleaner than any sorry. I'm not asking you to be okay with me, she says. I just wanted it said out loud once, properly. We stand there. The bulb buzzes. A car hisses past on wet roads somewhere out front. For what it's worth, she says, the kid I picked on couldn't pipe a straight line. Now you run the only station in there that doesn't make me want to quit. She hands the cigarette back. I take it. Our fingers don't make a thing of it. Then she bumps her shoulder into mine. One easy knock. Your tarts are the only good thing on that menu, she says. Marcus included, especially Marcus included. I almost laugh. It comes out as a breath. That's not a high bar. It's the only bar that matters. She pushes off the wall and heads for the door, stops with her hand on the handle. Ice that arm tonight, and tell me next time, not the gauze later. Noted, chef. Don't chef me out here. Almost soft. It's just Roxy in the alley. The door swings shut behind her. I stand in the damp with half a cigarette and a wrapped arm. The girl I spent a decade dreading just owned every bit of it. And the weird part isn't that she apologized. It's that I believed her. I'm not sure what scares me more, that I might actually start to like her, or that I already kinda do. Tuesday morning, prep shift, the slow one. Only a few of us before the sun fully commits. I like Tuesdays, quiet building, cold floors, nobody screaming yet. I clock in, grab my whites, head for my walk-in section. I've got mousse bases resting in there from yesterday. 3 batches, dark chocolate, passion fruit, A vanilla I'm proud of. Set them last night myself. Wrapped tight, labeled, dated. I open the door to my refrigerated section and the smell hits first. Sweet. Too sweet. Soft. That's not a cold smell. The little dial on the wall is cranked up past where it should ever be. Way up, like somebody turned it on purpose and left. My mousse bases are soup, all three. Slumped sideways in their containers. The chocolate has separated into something that looks like sad pudding. The passion fruit is a puddle with ambition. I just stand there in the cold that isn't cold. Doing math, how many eggs do I have? How much cream? How much time before service? The answer to all three is not enough. My chest goes tight. I'm breathing through my nose like that helps. I'm crouched in front of the dial, poking at the puddle with one finger, trying to figure out if any of it is salvageable. It is not. I know it is not. I poke it anyway. Who turned your section up? Roxy, in the doorway, coffee in hand. She's looking at the dial, then the containers, then my face. She reads the whole scene in about 4 seconds. It was set right last night, I say. I checked it before I left. I know you did. You check everything twice. You're a freak about it. She crouches next to me, sniffs the chocolate, makes a face. This is done, all of it. Don't even try to rescue it. I have to. Service is... Leo, she stands. Who else has been near your section? And I don't even have to answer, because we both already know. Tyler, demoted Tyler, garde manger Tyler, the guy who got his hours threatened on Saturday and has been sulking since. Roxy's jaw does the thing it did the night of the burn. She sets her coffee down on the rack. Very calm, too calm. Then she walks out of the cooler. I follow because I have to see this. Tyler's in the break room with 2 other cooks, laughing about something on his phone. He looks up when Roxy comes in, and the laugh dies a quick death. She doesn't yell. She picks the printed schedule right off the corkboard, holds it up, finds his name. Tyler, you're off the next 2 Saturdays, and the Friday. What? You can't just... I just did. You're also on grease traps, all of them. For a month. She tears his row clean off the sheet and lets it drop. Anybody touches a dial in pastry again, I find out, and you own it. That's how it works now. You don't sabotage, you scrub. Tyler's face goes through about 5 colors. He doesn't argue. The other 2 cooks are very interested in their shoes. Roxy pins the torn schedule back up like nothing happened. Then she walks past me, back toward the kitchen. Come on, she says. We've got mousse to rebuild. And here's the part that gets me. She doesn't lecture me about guarding my station, doesn't say I should have locked the dial or watched my back. She just rolls her sleeves up over the tattoos, grabs a clean bowl, and starts pulling eggs out of the main cooler. You separate, I'll whip, she says. What's the chocolate ratio? I tell her. She nods, cracks the first egg one-handed. We work shoulder to shoulder in the cold morning kitchen. No talking for a while. Just the clean snap of shells, yolks in one bowl, whites in another, a rhythm. I steal a look at her, flour already on her forearm, focused. The terror of my entire adolescence, separating my eggs for me, fixing a mess somebody made to hurt me. You didn't have to do the schedule thing, I say. Yeah, I did. She doesn't look up. He went after your work. Your work's the best thing in this place. That's not allowed. I crack the next egg and miss the bowl a little, because I'm starting to figure something out. Roxy doesn't apologize. Twice. She just shows up with her sleeves rolled, and that might be the more dangerous version. Tuesday night, late, well past midnight, technically Wednesday. Everyone's gone home, doors locked, lights mostly off. It's just me, Roxy, and the hum of the fridges. She caught me at the time clock earlier with, "You're staying." Not a question. She wants to test ideas for the fall menu. So here we are. Overturned milk crates by the steel prep table, one work light on, the rest of the kitchen swallowed in dark. We've burned through 3 test sauces and a bad idea involving fennel. My brain is fried, hers might be too. Hard to tell with her. There's a bag of breadsticks on the table that should have been tossed days ago. Stale, sad, the kind that snaps instead of bends. And there's a test bowl of dark chocolate ganache cooling next to it. Roxy breaks a breadstick in half, considers it, then dips the broken end in the ganache and eats it. This is disgusting, she says, chewing. She dips again immediately. I try one. She's not wrong. It's also weirdly perfect. Salt and stale crunch and bitter chocolate. A crime that works. We don't talk for a minute. just the crunch. The exhaustion has stripped something off both of us. Whatever armor we wear during service, it's on the floor with the flour. "I run the line angry," she says, out of nowhere. I look over. She's staring at the ganache, not me. Every kitchen I came up in was a meat grinder. You soft, you're gone. So I got loud first, louder than the guys. It's the only thing that worked. She snaps another breadstick. The high school stuff was the same engine. Home was a circus. I came in swinging so nobody saw the rest. She says it plain. No violin, just facts laid on the table. "I'm not handing you that as an excuse," she adds. "It's just the why. I wasn't going to give you one anyway." That gets a short breath out of her, almost a laugh. "Good," she says. "Don't start now." We sit with it. The fridges hum. "You don't flinch anymore," she says. "When the pans go off. First week I figured you jump every time. You don't." I roll a breadstick between my fingers. "I learned how to take it," I say. "Hold still, wait it out. You get good at enduring things if you do it long enough." I dip the stick. Don't look at her. But that's not why I do this. The enduring part. I like making something that lands. Somebody takes a bite and the day gets better for 10 seconds. That's the whole point for me. The rest is just survival. Quiet, longer than the others. When I glance up, she's already looking at my hands. The flour ground into the knuckles. The fresh pink burn at my wrist. She's looking at them like they're a recipe she's trying to read. The light over us hums. The temperature in the room hasn't changed. Something else has. She reaches across the little gap between the crates. Her thumb finds the edge of the burn scar on my arm. Traces it slow. Just the rim of it, careful, like the sugar nests. I forget how to breathe in a normal way. "These are the most important things in this building," she says, voice low. Not the line voice. Something underneath it. "And you keep letting amateurs wreck them." Her thumb stops at the end of the scar. Doesn't pull away. I should say something clever. I've got nothing. My pulse is doing the drum solo from chapter 1, except this is the opposite of dread. "They heal," I manage. "They shouldn't have to. We're close. Closer than two people testing breadsticks need to be." She's still got a smudge of ganache at the corner of her mouth, and I'm noticing it way too much. The girl I spent 10 years dreading is holding my arm like it's worth guarding, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember why I was ever afraid of her. Neither of us moves. The fridges hum, and I realize I don't want to be the one who pulls away first. 2 weeks later, a Thursday. Word goes around the kitchen like a gas leak. There's a critic in the dining room, not just any critic, the one with the column that closes places. Somebody made him at table 11, ordering off menu to test us, and the whole building tightens up like a fist. I'm in my corner finishing a tray of spun sugar, thin amber threads wound into little crowns for the dessert. The kind of thing that takes 10 minutes and dies if you breathe wrong. So naturally, today of all days, Marcus loses his mind. He's at the hotline sweating. Through his whites, calling tickets twice, tasting things and changing his mind, throwing off everybody's timing because he can't hold his own. Pick it up, where's my halibut? His halibut is right there. He's looking at it. He's been doing this 20 years, and tonight he's cooking like it's day one. Roxy's working expo, trying to hold the pass together around him. You can see her jaw doing the thing. Patience running low. The halibut goes out wrong. Overcooked. He knows it the second he plates it. The runner brings it back. Critic sent it back. And Marcus just snaps. He spins off the line with the bad plate in his hand. Heavy ceramic, full of fish and sauce, and he hurls it toward the dish pit to make a point. Except I'm walking that exact line. Tray of sugar crowns balanced on both palms. Eyes down on them, moving slow because spun sugar doesn't let you rush. I don't see the plate. I hear Roxy. "Leo!" And then she's just there. She steps off the pass and puts herself between me and the throw. The plate hits the steel counter beside her and comes apart, loud, sharp, ceramic going everywhere. A piece of it catches her cheek on the way past. One clean line, high on the bone. I see it open before it bleeds. My sugar tray rattles. One crown collapses. I don't care. The whole kitchen stops at once. The fryers are the only thing still making noise. Tyler froze mid-slice. The runners froze in the door. Marcus is standing there with his throwing arm still out. His face goes the color of raw dough, because he can do the math too. He threw ceramic at his pastry guy and hit his sous chef in the face instead. Roxy hasn't moved. A thin red line is sliding down toward her jaw. She lifts one hand, touches it, looks at the blood on her fingers. Real calm, like she's checking a sauce. I'm holding a broken tray of sugar, and I cannot make a single sound. "Chef," somebody starts. "Should we—" Nobody finishes it. Roxy wipes her cheek once with the back of her wrist, smears it instead of clearing it. Then she turns, slow, deliberate. She turns and looks at Marcus, and I have seen her angry before. The burn, the dial. This is past that. This is quiet and flat and final. The look of someone who already decided how this ends. Marcus actually takes a step back into his own station, bumps a stack of pans. They clatter, and nobody flinches. "It was an accident," he says, voice cracking. "It was the plate." Roxy doesn't answer him. She just keeps looking, bleeding, not blinking, letting the silence do the thing his shouting never could. My hands have stopped shaking, which is strange. All the fear I spent on her for 10 years, it isn't here. What's here is something colder, and it's not pointed at me. She finally speaks. One word, low enough that I lean in. Outside, and I don't think she's talking to him. I think she's talking to herself, deciding to walk before she does something worse. The blood reaches her collar. Nobody moves to help her. So I set the tray down, and I do. I get her by the sleeve before she can decide anything worse. "Cooler, now." She actually looks surprised that I'm the one giving orders, but she lets me steer her off the line. Past Tyler, who's still holding a wedge of lemon like a shield. Past Marcus, who has the sense to not say one word. I pull the heavy door, and the cold hits like a wall. Racks of butter, trays of stock, our breath going white instantly. She's still got that flat murder look, so I plant a hand on a shelf and box her in a little. "Sit on the milk crate, you're bleeding on my fish." "It's not your fish." "Sit down, Roxy." She sits. That's how I know it's bad. I grab the emergency kit off the wall. The plastic latch is half broken. Antiseptic wipes, gauze, the little butterfly strips nobody trusts. I tear a wipe open with my teeth because my hands are full. This is gonna sting. I've had worse from a deep fryer. Hold still anyway. I tilt her chin with 2 fingers. She lets me, also new. The cut's clean but long, riding the top of her cheekbone. I clean it in slow passes. She doesn't blink. The cold makes my fingers stiff and my brain very loud. She's watching my face the whole time. "You're an idiot," I tell her. Bedside manner of a champion. I mean it. You stepped in front of flying ceramic. For a tray of sugar and me, that's a concussion waiting to happen. It wasn't for the sugar. I stop wiping. The fridge hum fills the gap. "He was throwing at your station," she says, voice dropping low. "Right at your hands. I did the math faster than he did. So you took it in the face. I'd take it 100 times. She says it like a fact off a prep list. Those hands don't get wrecked by a guy who can't time a halibut. Not while I'm standing there. Not ever. I'm holding a bloody wipe inches from her cheek, and I forget it exists. The cold doesn't reach us anymore. That stopped being true a minute ago. Her eyes drop to my mouth and back up. I notice she's got a freckle under the cut I never clocked before. I lean in. The old fear isn't anywhere in the building. It got replaced by something with a pulse. She tips her chin up the last inch, close enough that I feel her breath go uneven, and the cooler door rips open behind me. Light and noise flood in. Marcus, red-faced, filling the doorway like a bad smell. "You two have got to be kidding me." We jerk apart. The gauze drops on the floor grate. Roxy stands up slow, the half-cleaned cut bright on her cheek. And the look she gives him says, "We're not finishing this conversation. We're finishing his." Marcus stands in the doorway, breathing like a man who ran here, which he didn't. He just walked off his own broken line. "Insubordination," he says. "Both of you. Off the floor during a VIP. He points at me. The finger is shaking. You're done. Walking off mid-service. Get your stuff." I open my mouth. Nothing useful comes out. Old reflex, shrink, apologize, make myself small enough to keep the job. But Roxy's already moving. She reaches up and pulls the cut on her cheek into the light for him. "Look at this first," she says. "Then talk to me about insubordination." Marcus doesn't look. He can't. He left the line because you threw a plate at his hands. Flat, even. He pulled me in here so I wouldn't bleed into the sauces. That's not walking off. That's the only adult decision on this line tonight. She unties her apron strings. Slow. One pull. Then she drops it on the floor grate, right on top of the dropped gauze. You fire him, I'm gone, she says. Out the front, right now. And I'm taking the whole front of house with me on the way. Marcus laughs. It comes out thin. You can't. Half your servers already hate you. I had drinks with 3 of them Tuesday. Try me. You'll be plating your own halibut to an empty room. The cooler is so cold I can see all 3 of us breathing. Marcus's confidence is leaking out of him in real time. I've watched her deflate him before. The lemon tart, the dial, this is that, except she's bleeding and she still has the high ground. She pulls her phone out of her back pocket, thumbs the screen with one hand, not even rushing. What are you doing? Marcus says, texting the owner. She turns the screen toward him. It's a photo, her cheek, the cut, the blood already on her collar. Caption says, head chef threw ceramic on the line during service. Cut my face. Witnesses available. Call me. Don't send that. Already typing the part about Saturday. The skillet you burned through. The kid you nearly branded twice. Tyler's hours. Want me to keep going? Her thumb hovers. She's not bluffing. She doesn't bluff. Marcus reaches out like he can grab the phone through 6 feet of cold air. We can talk about this, as professionals. You stopped being a professional when the plate left your hand. She hits send. I hear the little whoosh sound. So does he. Marcus actually staggers back into a rack. A tub of butter wobbles. All the volume, the pacing, the 20 years of yelling. Gone. Just a sweaty guy in a doorway who threw the wrong thing. You don't have the authority, he tries, one last time. No, Roxy agrees. He does, and he's awake. We stand there in the hum and the cold and wait. Marcus goes back to the line because he doesn't know where else to put himself. I find Roxy a clean side towel and press it to her cheek. You really had drinks with the servers? 2 of them. The third one, I'm pretty sure hates me too. Doesn't matter, he believed it. The owner gets there faster than I expect. Coat over pajamas, phone still in his hand with her photo on it. He takes one look at her cheek and one look at Marcus. That's the whole conversation. He barely raises his voice. Marcus tries his pacing thing in the office. It doesn't land. On the boss either. 5 minutes later, he's walking the bad halibut out the back with his knife roll. No speech. Just the metal door clanging shut behind him. The kitchen stands around like it forgot how to move. Then the owner turns to Roxy. He looks at the blood, the dropped apron, the steadiness underneath it. He pulls the office keys off his own ring. You're running it tonight, he says. Interim head chef. Salvage what's left of that table, and we'll talk tomorrow. He presses the keys into her palm. She closes her hand around them, doesn't smile, just turns to the line and starts calling the board like she's done it for years. I watch the girl who used to wreck me pick up a kitchen off the floor, cut still open, apron back on, voice clear, and the table 11 dessert is still mine to fire. So I pick up my broken tray, dump the dead sugar, and start spinning fresh. 3 months later, same kitchen, different gravity. Roxy runs the line now and it shows. No thrown pans, no screaming for sport. She's still hard, calls people out fast, misses nothing. But the energy points outward now, at the work, not at us. The cut on her cheek healed into a thin, pale line. She left it alone. Says it reminds people not to test her. Tyler quit a month back. Nobody threw him a party. The walk-in dial has a lock on it now. Her idea. Today's the fall menu tasting. Whole crew packed around the pass on a slow afternoon. I'm last up. Final dessert. The one I've been quiet about for weeks. I plate it under the work light and slide it forward. It's a quenelle of dark chocolate crémeux, salted caramel underneath, a shard of something thin and golden on top, and the thing nobody gets at first glance, a crisp, baked breadstick tuile, stale snap texture on purpose. I rebuilt that midnight crime into something you'd pay for. The crew leans in. One of the line guys goes, "Okay, fancy." Roxy doesn't say anything yet. She picks up a spoon, cuts through all the layers in one pass, gets the chocolate, the salt, the crunch. She tastes it, and I watch her stop. Her eyes flick up to me. She knows exactly what this is. The breadsticks, the ganache, the crates, the fridge is humming. The whole crew is watching their head chef chew a dessert. For 1 second, the stern thing slips clean off her face. She smiles. The real one. The one I only got in the dark. "That's it," she says. "That goes on the menu tonight. Don't change a thing." Somebody claps. She kills it with a look. Old habit. But the smile doesn't fully leave. "Good work, pastry," she adds, quieter. Plate 10 for service. The crew breaks up. Back to prep. The moment folds away. I clean my station feeling like I won something I can't name. After shift, I take my smoke break. I don't really smoke on. Out in the alley, same brick, same busted bulb. New bulb, actually. The damp smell. The dumpster. My corner of the world. I'm leaning on the wall when the door bangs. I don't flinch anymore. I know that sound now. Roxy. Knife roll left inside. Flour on her wrist like always. She walks over. Doesn't take my cigarette this time. Just reaches out and turns my forearm over. Checks the old burn scar. The new little nicks. Inspecting. "Still in one piece," I say, verifying. She runs her thumb along the back of my knuckles once. Then she steps in and puts me against the brick. Not rough, just final. Like calling the last ticket of the night. "The dessert," she says. "You did that on purpose." "You noticed." "I notice everything. It's annoying." She hooks 2 fingers into the strings of my apron. Gives them a slow pull until there's no gap left. I think about the kid on the bus, the textbooks in the mud, 10 years of bracing for her to wreck me, and here she is, holding my hands like they are the good silverware. "You gonna kiss me," she says, "or endure it like everything else?" So, I do the one thing I never planned for. I kiss her first. She makes a small, surprised sound, and then she doesn't. The bulb buzzes. A car hisses past out front. When we break, she's got that smile again. Just for me. "Took you 3 months," she says. "Took you 10 years to apologize." Fair. She doesn't let go of my apron, and I stand there in the damp alley, scarred hands and all, with the girl who used to be the thing I feared most, realizing she turned into the safest spot I've got. Funny how that works. She bumps her forehead against mine. "Come on, pastry," she says. "I'll walk you to the train." We go.